Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the Furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 18, episode 7, and today we're back slightly later than planned, and it's a remarkable sequence of events as well. We play Arsenal in our third from last Premier League game, and anything other than the defeat wraps up the Premier League title for us. We didn't expect to see that at the end of the last episode, but we're still 5 points behind the league leaders, but their form has collapsed off a cliff, and now we've gone miles ahead of them and have a chance to wrap the league up today. If not, surely it's just a formality, as we'll only need to beat Fulham, who are currently in 6th place, but of course that is a little bit easier said than done, particularly with Champions League and FA Cup games coming up. So we'll go and have a look at the schedule in a moment, to see all the action since the last episode, and we'll also show you why we didn't come back as planned for the Champions League. I'm sure it'll make sense once we've seen it. Arsenal are missing Hans van der Kolk, one of their key attacking players, and that has caused them to be a little toothless in front of goal, but it doesn't explain their defensive frailties. They were invincible for almost all of the first half of the season, and now they've lost 7 games in the last 15, so they really are starting to go downhill quickly, and have completely bottled the title race, giving us a chance to win our second Premier League title. But we've got to balance that with other competitions as well, so if we go and have a look at the schedule, it's the best way to see how we're getting on. You were of course with me for the FA Cup 5th round, a really strong performance and result against Man City, a 1-0 victory at the start of March. We've had loads of games since then, but there's been various reasons we couldn't come back. So a 4-0 second leg win against Celtic, we expected that, which is why we didn't show it. Omar got a hat-trick which he wrapped up in the 93rd minute, and Maddie Cater, his central midfield partner, contributed with the other goal. Then a 2-0 win at home to Wolves in the Premier League, the first of 2 times we played them that month. Alex Andrade and Diogo Sousa off the bench, ensuring we got a comfortable 3 points in the end. And then away to Leicester, a 2-2 draw. Will Atkinson putting us back in 2nd place at the end. It looked like we were going to run away from Arsenal then, but Leicester had other ideas. Omar and Yaladian with the goals for us, before we beat Wolves in the FA Cup. Again, we played a pretty strong side, just rotated in 3 or 4 areas, and Wagner and Andrade put us 2-0 up, before Phil Lynch made it nervy towards the end. Then a 2-1 win at home to Sheffield United. Again, a late consolation made it look closer than it was, but we were too nervy to make the substitutions then. Andrade and Nsingi both were second half goals. Then away to Southampton at the start of April, Wagner and Andrade again in the first half, and again it was another grandstand finish, as we're struggling to keep clean sheets at this stage. Having said that, we had 2 really comfortable victories after that. 3-0 at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final, all second half goals against Chelsea. We kept possession well and wore them down, and Andrade, Cater and Silla with the goals, which led us through to the final. I'll show you the opponents at the bottom in a moment. Needless to say, we should be favourites. Then against Manchester United in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final, a 4-0 win against them. Again, it was all second half goals, a Yaladian brace putting us in charge, 2 really brilliant finishes from him, who finally proved he was worth the money, and then Kante and Kozul off the bench late on, making sure the tie was beyond doubt. And at that point I knew there was no reason to show you the second leg, it was just going to be a pretty dull affair, and there was no point putting you through it. Then a 1-1 draw at home to Everton, 2 first half goals, 1 for Andrade and 1 for Goebbels. We've mentioned him before, he's very experienced now, but still scoring goals at Premier League level. Then a 1-0 defeat in the second leg against United. We played pretty much an entire backup side here, and again they were on top and they did have the better of it, but bar their penalty they didn't look like scoring often. I think there was 1 other brilliant save Stojanovic made, and a couple of other routine ones. He was busy but not really threatened. Then 2 champions performances in the Premier League, firstly away against Burnley. Gerben Bakanes with a rare goal in the second half, ensuring we wrapped up the 3 points, after Maddie Cater had given us the lead in the first minute, cancelled out by Burnley before the break. Then a 3-1 win against bottom side Ipswich. They were wrapped up relegation about a month before. They got a 90th minute consolation, but we were already 3-0 up, despite playing our reserve side for the majority of the game. Stojanovic was actually at fault for the goal, the one first team player we did start, but Boniverson, Gracia and Kante with the goals, Gracia ending an 11 game goal drought. So now we've got 2 massive games coming up to finish the month. Obviously the title decider against Arsenal, although we could leave it for Fulham, who are in 6th place. We've then got Manchester City on the last day, so 3 really tough matches, so this would be the ideal point to do it, and it would allow us to rest players in the Premier League and focus on the Real Madrid tie. Of course, you probably remember they were the side that knocked us out in the quarter-finals last year. We beat them 2-0 at the Bernabeu, but then lost 3-0 after extra time at home, so we've got to be cautious against that this time, and being able to rest our full team against Fulham will hopefully help us to succeed. But of course that's going to be easier said than done, and now you can see the FA Cup final opponents too. Crystal Palace of the Championship nonetheless. Owen Jack's still there and doing a good job, but we're playing the 15th place side in the Championship, remarkably in the FA Cup final. So we should be favourites and wrap up our 3rd title in that competition. But enough about that, it's all about the Arsenal game. Hopefully the last time we have to worry about the Premier League. So let's go and have a look at our lineup for today and see what team we trust to get us over the line. We should be favourites, I would have thought, particularly based on recent form, and we're quite heavy favourites actually, as Arsenal have been completely out of sorts. If we go and quickly have a look at their form, just so you can see what I mean by that, they really have not put up a fight at all. In their last 2 games, they played our last 2 opponents actually. Fulham they lost 2-1 at home, and City 4-1 away from home. The 2 games before that, they drew against Burnley and Everton, and in fact the only side they've beaten in the league in the last 2 months are the Ipswich side stuck on 11 points at the bottom. So they really have been poor. 1 win in 7 in the Premier League, and let's hope we can make that 1 in 8 today, as that will crown us as champions. So let's go and have a look at the 11. Marcelo Guiarda perhaps under pressure, but of course he could turn it round yet today, as our last 2 games certainly won't make things easy. We've got Stojanovic in goal as the sweeper keeper, hoping for a better performance than against Ipswich. Cura and Wagner the fullbacks, with McDonald and Nsingi in the middle. Bacanes in the holding role after his first goal of the season in recent times, the winner against Burnley which was so crucial, and then Omar and Keita in central midfield, Yaladian and Silla on the wings, and Alex Andrade up front, now on 26 goals, one of 5 players to reach double figures this year. Maddie Keita's almost certainly displaced Kante now, been a really good player for us this half of the season, and hopefully he'll put in another strong performance today to lead Torquay United to a Premier League title. Let's go and get into the match against Arsenal. There's no point holding it up any longer. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Arsenal. Wayne Curtis, the England number 1, still there, as is Stephen Tong, the England skipper. The likes of Cross, Conceição and Navarro at the top of the pitch, players that have done really well all season. And Michael Vinicius has scored a lot of goals, 7 goals and 8 assists. We've seen his name crop up a few times. They've got some good players on the bench too, the likes of Jones Bond that we've seen pop up occasionally, and Bergkamp and Ulysses as well. So there's certainly plenty of talent in the Arsenal side, but you must imagine that the morale's pretty low now. So we're going to tell the lads to pick up where they left off, just as Stuart Jelling recommends. He's actually rejected a new contract with us, Stuart Jelling, and his current one expires in the summer, so I'm a little bit worried we might have a new assistant manager, which of course wouldn't be ideal in our last year. Stephen Tong's got it at left back from the Arsenal kickoff. Delgado plays a 1-2 with him, and De Los Santos gets it into the middle to Fabio, but the highlight ends with no damage done. 5 minutes gone and we've got a corner. Omar to Nsingi at the back stick, bobbles down in the 6-yard box, but it's been hacked behind for yet another corner. Omar to outswing it from the other side. There's 5 or 6 Torquay players in the box. McDonald's one of them who nods it down, but again it's cleared from just about the goal line. Omar's second ball back to McDonald. Out to Maddie Keita on the right wing. He delivers towards Wagner. He seemed to have stayed up there from the corner kick, but now he is running back. It's Nsingi to Keita again. Still out on this right wing, and surely he's been fouled there on the right hand side, and it's going to be a free kick for Omar. Good delivery to the back post. Yaladian volleys it in first time. What a fantastic finish, and he goes off with his cartwheels as well. That one may wrap up the Premier League title. A flying start under lots of pressure, and we lead 1-0 against Arsenal. 10 minutes gone and we're completely in control. What a fantastic start to the match. It's an Omar corner again, an outswinger. McDonald nods it down, but the keeper gets there first. Andrade was ready to pounce, but Curtis did his best, and now he clears it to the left hand side. Tong picks it up as we're poor momentarily at the back. We lose our concentration and get out of shape, and Fabio picks it up 30 yards out. He finds Vinicius and now Conceição. Brilliant effort from long range. Didn't see anything on, so he just completely went for it, and Stojanovic had to be on guard. It's Fabio with the corner, and Nsingi tries to get it clear. He seems to have been fouled by Navarro, and thankfully that highlight ends. The first bit of defending we've had to do all match, but it was a worry that we lost our concentration. Montero with a throw on the right for Arsenal. Wagner wins it back on halfway for Andrade. Omar beats two men and shoots. It's a brilliant save by Curtis in goal. He's trying to keep Arsenal in this title race, but his teammates aren't giving him much help. It's Andrade with a free kick in again. McDonnell has a free header, but it's over. We're completely on top, and from set pieces we're a threat, but with half an hour gone we've still only scored one. Omar into McDonnell again. We've scored a second, have we? Wagner's offside from the rebound. Again McDonnell won that first header in the box, but after bobbling around Wagner was offside. Cross picks it up on the left for Arsenal though, turning a bit more into an end-to-end game now. That's the worry as Arsenal try to cross, but Silla brings it away. Charges over halfway, there's two men on the right. Out to Yaladian with three in the middle. One of them's Andrade, and again it's an unbelievable save. He then gets on the rebound and knocked it back for Silla, and again Curtis with an unbelievable stop to put it out for a Torquay corner. Omar to Yaladian who plays a 1-2. Omar's offside from the resulting pass. Really poor play to finish the highlight, but Wayne Curtis has been sensational. Conceição puts a free kick over for Arsenal, but they have not looked in this match at all. Well, we've ended the half on a sour note. Andrade picking up a knock 1 minute before half time, and he can't carry on, which suggests it's a bad one. A potential foot injury, Gracia will come on. Thankfully he ended his goal drought against Ipswich, but of course he's not been scoring fluently, and he doesn't seem too settled in this side. So if Andrade's out for the Champions League semi-final, I really would be quite worried. It looks like it's going to be half time on 1-0. It's been a really brilliant performance so far. We just need to produce it for 45 more. We're going to encourage the lads. Stuart Jennings hasn't been wrong so far. A couple of them motivated and most listening keenly. There aren't many who haven't reacted at all, so hopefully that'll be reflected in the performance. McDonnell keeps it from the kick-off to Omar. Out to Silla on halfway on the left. The highlight ends as soon as he gets it though, so I'm assuming the attack didn't lead to anything. 5 minutes gone in the second, and we're still completely on top. There's not really been any threat from Arsenal at all, and that's the most you can ask for from this Torquay side. Omar picks it up 30 yards out. He finds Cater who shoots. That was a brilliant effort. It was drilled so powerfully, but just over the bar it had beaten the keeper, and unfortunately doesn't find the back of the net. Jones Dodd picks it up in midfield. He finds Fabio. Plenty of space in the centre circle for Arsenal as Navarro's back into two up front. Cross shoots from miles out. It's wide of the post. Didn't really look too threatening at all. An hour gone and Arsenal have gone 4 up front, but we've got a throw on the right with Cura. He finds Cater who plays a 1-2. Baccanes picks it up from the clearance. Cater finds Cura on the overlap. 3 in the middle including Omar. His header hits the post of all places. An inch to the right and it would have been a goal, and probably with it title race over. The wonder kid Armando Bergkamp's on at centre half, as Plumper seems to have had a pretty poor game. A quarter to go, we'll make a sub in a moment, but I don't want to change the team on this performance. 15 to go, it's still 1-0, and it's still every highlight for Torquay. Wagner picks it up for Baccanes on the edge, but his shot doesn't trouble the keeper. Really poor effort, and we need to make a sub now. I don't think we can hold off any longer. We had a warning to close down Vinicius. Matty Cater's going to be replaced. He's the only one that's looking nervous at the moment, and he's actually got the worst rating too. So Malik Kante will come on for him, a natural replacement in that position, and we're going to drop our fullbacks to supporting duties, just to make sure they protect the Arsenal wingers. They've moved forward almost to a 4 up front, so we need to have a strong back 4 protecting them. It's a throw on the left again for Cura. Short to Wagner who flicks it on. Silla shoots but it's blocked, as does Wagner with the same result. It's behind for a corner which Omar will take, and it's going to be an outswinger into the Arsenal box. Just 5 in there now. One more man sacrificed defensively. McDonnell knocks it down and Jones bomb clears. It seems like Arsenal are still having to defend. That's a really good sign for us at this stage. 3 clear-cut chances and we've only taken 1. But of course that's largely down to Wayne Curtis. He's been remarkable in the Arsenal goal. 5 to go and we'll think about a sub in a moment, but we've got another attack from a set piece. The long throw's cleared to Silla. He finds Cura on the right, into Omar on the edge. Another wonderful save. Curtis has been unbelievable, and if Arsenal get something out of this game, they've got a lot to thank him for. Cross to the back post shoots as we lose our concentration. Thankfully it's wide, and then Omar does the same with a free kick. We've got 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Of course a draw still wins us the title, so there's no concern there, but I want to make sure we don't concede. Omar's not had the best game, but we haven't got another central midfielder on the bench, so we're just going to replace Boubacar Silla with Kozul. He's a more naturally experienced player, and he's got good leadership skills as well. So 2 minutes left, let's see if we can hold on. If we let in a goal, we will go defensive. 3 minutes of stoppage time have been put up as Curtis sends a long kick forward, and just like the City game in the last episode actually, it's not the fact that we've got the result that will matter in this match, it's the manner of the performance as well. We're playing against top sides and dominating from start to finish. I'll hold that thought as Kante shoots, it's cleared long to Arsenal on the counter, and they might well equalise from here, you know, as Jones Dodd tries to cross it in. I keep calling him Jones Dodd, his surname's certainly Bond, but Wagner intercepts it and is cleared away again. Bilardo on the left hand side. Cross is blocked as there's brilliant defending from the wingers. That one was Yoladian working back, and now Delgado picks it up again. Montero gets it on the right hand side. He delivers towards the centre forward, but Stojanovic does brilliantly to intercept it, and he held it at the first attempt too. Fabio to Delgado on the edge of the box. He finds Delgado again. Out to Fabio, who's got the man on the right. Montero tries to take him on. Back to Vinicius, who delivers, and it's a free kick as Cross pushes the fullback. Cura defends it really well there, and we've got just 10 seconds remaining. Fingers crossed the full-time whistle will go any seconds. Yoladian's won a free kick. Brilliant experience play from him. Another man who's had a fantastic game. We've dominated the match and we're going to be champions. There's no chance Arsenal will score 2 from here. Cura to Kozul on the edge of the box. Plenty of time for it to be cleared. But the final whistle goes and we're champions for the second time. There's the pink and grey suit with the outing. We didn't get to see this bit the first time we won the league. So what a fantastic time to see it now. Premier League champions twice with Torquay, 18 years in waiting, but a fantastic achievement in the end. The big worry in this game though is still the injury to Andrade. Is he going to be missing for the Champions League semi-final? The competition that success has still eluded us in. Let's talk to the lads and tell them it was a good performance, a brilliant game, a good result, and the lads dominated from first minute to last. We're really proud of that one, and the way we fought back in this title race. Of course the pivotal match is the one they mentioned there, when we went top the first time by beating them away from home. It's been a 2-horse race the entire season, and we've just about pipped Arsenal to the post. Of course we clinched the Premier League title and everyone will be happy, but I can see there Andrade's got a broken toe. He's not going to be back very quickly. Let's see what the message is. I'm sure it's not good. 6 to 7 weeks is season over. We might get lucky with the Champions League final, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to be the case. That also means that Stuart John might be on the bench for a Champions League and FA Cup final, so that could be a remarkable moment in this series, but we're really gutted Andrade's going to miss the ending. We'll deal with the press conference off camera. The board are obviously happy with the title win. The second time we've won it, first in season 16, and now we've done it in season 18 as well. Fingers crossed it's the first of a massive treble. 2 times in 3 years for us, as we win the Premier League title. We denied Arsenal, who have won it so many times. We were fantastic from start to finish. We didn't lose games, and that was the key. We were worried earlier in the season that we'd drawn too many, but in the end they proved to be crucial. Strootman spotted at the Torquay Stadium the Holland boss, keeping an eye on some Arsenal players, and of course Gerben Bacanes as well, and the Spain manager was there looking at Cura and Keita, as well as Bilardo, the Arsenal fullback. Let's go and have a look at the schedule to see when we'll be back, and of course it's pretty predictable here. We'll play the first leg of the Real Madrid game off camera, as well as the dead rubber against Fulham, and then we'll be back for the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. It's the furthest we've ever got in this competition, but we faced the opponent that knocked us out last year, and we'll be back for that home leg against Madrid. If you did enjoy this episode though, and that brilliant performance to seal the title, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Plenty of Champions performances last month, and of course we could still win 2 more trophies. We should be favourites against Palace even without Alex Andrade, but let me know your thoughts on what we should do against Madrid, particularly now we're missing our star striker. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this Torquay United story. We'll have episodes every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30 as we continue until the release of FM20. And speaking of the new game, we had our first plans video on Saturday, so if you haven't seen it yet, please do go back and check it out. There's a couple of polls in there so you can help shape the content on the channel next year, and there's also plenty of reaction to features announcements, some of the more niche ones rather than the headliners. Then there's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career, every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. That schedule will continue through to the release of FM22, where we'll continue continue with 2 episodes every week. And then finally my Snooker 19 career continues. We're playing our final tournament of the World Snooker Championship. That one's on Friday at 4:30. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series as always. I hope you're as pleased as me we've won a second title. And we'll be back in the next episode chasing Champions League glory before the FA Cup final features later this week.